kendisiyle
wept
paylaştım.
tears and we shared the moment together.
Şu anda
I told him
Azeri kardeşlerimiz
about this.
işgal
And now our
altındaki
Azerbaijani
topraklara
brothers and
doğru
sisters are
yürüyorlar
marching towards
ve
their
oraları
occupied
geri almaya
territories.
hamdolsun
And
başladılar.
thank God they have started taking those
Azmin elinden
territories back.
hiçbir şey kurtulmaz.
You can achieve everything if you
İmanın
have ambition,
elinden
and you can
hiçbir
achieve
şey
everything
kurtulmaz.
if you have belief.
Azmettin mi,
If you
tevekkül et, gerisi Allah kerim.
believe,
İşte bu büyük millette
then
evelallah böyle
contemplate,
canlandı, böyle canlanıyor. Bu bir
have
sevda
faith, and
öyküsü
the rest will follow. And this is how this nation
Balkanlara.
grows bigger and bigger.
Elhamdülillah.
And this love story, of course, travels from the
Sevgili
Caspian all the way to the
Kayserili
Balkans.
kardeşlerim,
Thank God. My
AK Parti
distinguished
Kayseri
brothers and
teşkilatımızın
sisters
değerli mensupları,
of Kayseri province, distinguished members
saygıdeğer
of our
divan,
AK Party organization
kıymetli
of
hanımefendiler,
Kayseri, and distinguished
beyefendiler,
members of board,
sevgili gençler,
ladies
değerli
and
dava
gentlemen,
ve yol arkadaşlarım,
distinguished
sizlere
friends at
kalbi
cause,
duygularımla,
dear young people, I
muhabbetle
would like to
selamlıyorum.
greet
Bir
you all
yıllık hasretin ardından
with love and respect.
Melik Gazi,
After almost a year,
Sinan'ı,
we have made our way to
Hacıları,
the city of
Talas'ı,
Melikgazi, Koca Sinan,
Akkışla'yı,
Talas,
Bünyan'ı,
Bünyan,
Develi,
Develi,
Felahiye'yi selamlıyorum.
Felahiye. And I would like to send my greetings
İncesu'yu,
to each and every district of
Özvatan'ı,
Kayseri province.
Pınarbaşı'nı,
İncesu, Özvatan,
Sarıoğlan'ı,
Pınarbaşı, Sarıoğlan,
Sarız'ı,
Sarız,
Tomarza'yı,
Tomarza,
Yahyalı'yı,
Yahyalı,
Yeşilisar'ı selamlıyorum.
and Yeşilisar. I would like to send my greetings to each and
Kayseri'nin
every
tüm
district,
ilçelerindeki,
every region of Kayseri
mahallelerindeki,
province. I would like to again
hanelerindeki
greet all people
gadalarını aldığım kardeşlerimi yürekten
living in
selamlıyorum.
various neighborhoods, districts, and places of Kayseri, and I would like to wholeheartedly
Şahsıma
send my greetings
sizlerle
to
bir kez
each and
daha
every one.
buluşmayı
And
nasip
I am
ettiği
grateful
için
to God for
hamdü
He
sena
has
ediyorum.
blessed me with once
Kayseri,
again coming together
asaletiyle,
and being with you.
ferasetiyle,
Kayseri with its foresight,
cesaretiyle,
its nobilty,
becerisiyle,
its courage and
çalışkanlığıyla,
skills and hard
yerli ve
work,
milli
as
duruşuyla
well its
iktidar ettiğimiz
national and
şehirlerimizin
domestic
başında
stance
geliyor.
is one of the first cities
şehirle,
of our country that we are
Erciyes gibi
proud of.
Akalınıyla
And in this
Erciyes
city,
gibi
we
dik
have
başıyla
Erciyes, a mountain
iftihar ediyoruz.
which stands high
şehrin
and tall, and we
dertlilere
are
deva,
proud of each and
hastalara
every inch
şifa,
of this city.
cevher
This,
nesilesiyle
of course, city
medeniyet
is also
coğrafyamızı
a good
ilmik
representative
işleyen
of our
Mimar
civilization,
Sinan'ıyla
and we are
iftihar
proud of
ediyoruz.
Mimar Sinan, the great
Bu
architect,
şehrin hak
who was,
yoluna gidenlerin
brought up
asa
here.
olsam
And in this
ellerine diyen
city, everyone
şairleriyle
who
iftihar
walks
ediyoruz.
towards God and
Bu
God's
şehrin
path
her köşesinde
always
bir ilim
are known
ocağı
to have
tutuşturan,
sacrificed their
bu
lives.
ocağı en
And
zor
this is a
şartlarda
hearth
bile
of
söndürmeyen
science, and the
alimleriyle
fire
iftihar
in that
ediyoruz.
hearth has always
şehrin
burnt
Bu cihan erlerin
and
meydanıdır
stood
diyen Kadı
live,
Burhanettin
and we
ile
are proud
iftihar
of all.
ediyoruz.
We are proud of
Sizlerin
Kadı
şahsında
Burhanettin, all the scholars,
Kayserili
all the
olmayı
scientists
bir
of this
şeref olarak
province. And in your
kimliğinde
person, I would
taşıyan
like to state
tüm
that
Kayserilerle iftihar
I am
ediyoruz.
proud of each and every person
Ne
of
diyor
Kayseri
Seyrani?
province. And Seyrani
Aşkın
said,
iğnesiyle dikilen dikiş
every sewing that you
kıyamete
do with
kadar
the needle of love
sökülmez imiş.
will not
Bizim Kayseri ile gönül bağımızda işte
lose
böyledir.
its ties until
Kayseri
eternity.
her ziyaretimizde bizi
And this is
samimiyetle
how
bağrına
this
bastı.
love has been knotted. And
Kayseri yapılan her seçimde
Kayseri
bizi
has always
sandıkta
embraced us.
zirveye
In
taşıdı.
every election held, Kayseri
girdiğimiz
brought
her
AK Party
mücadelede
to
en küçük bir tereddüt
victory.
göstermeden
And in every
önüne
struggle we
arkasına,
took
sağına
on,
soluna
Kayseri
bakmadan
province
yanımızda
has
yer aldı.
always stood with
Kayseri,
us
maruz
with
kaldığımız her saldırıda
every
göğsünü bize
effort,
siper etmekten
and
asla çekinmedi.
always, of course,
Biz de
stood
bugüne kadar
for
Kayseri'nin
us
gelişmesi, kalkınması,
in every
büyümesi
attack
için
we endured.
ne
And so
gerekiyorsa
far, of
yaptık.
course, we have done everything to ensure
ticaret,
that Kayseri
sanayi,
makes strides,
çalışkanlık,
grows, and flourishes.
beceriklilik,
Skills,
Kayseri'nin
hard work,
hamurunda zaten var.
production, industry, these are all
Kabiliyetleri
innate to
destekler ve
Kayseri.
teşviklerle
And we
zenginleştirerek
have enriched
Anadolu'nun
all these
ortasında
through
dünya
support
çapında
and
özgün bir
incentives,
kalkınma
and we have
modelini
adopted
hayata
a
geçirdik.
unique development
Nitekim
model in
Kayseri'de
the heart, in the very
geçtiğimiz yıl
heart of Anatolia.
1 milyar
Last year in
800 milyon
Kayseri,
lirayı bulan, bir önceki
1.8
yıl
billion
1 milyar
liras, and
640 milyon
the
liraya
previous
ulaşan
year,
yatırımların resmi açılışlarını yaptık.
1.6
Bugün de
billion
ilk
liras
kongremizin
worth of
ardından
investments were made,
Sahabiye
and we
ve
opened
Seyrani
many
kentsel
works
dönüşüm
and projects.
projeleri
And
kapsamında
now, within the
inşa
framework of
edilen yaklaşık
urban
800
transformation, we have
55
built
iş
about
yeri ve
800
sosyal
dwelling houses,
donatılarının
55 workplaces, and
açılışlarını
of course social
gerçekleştireceğiz.
complexes, and we will be
bölgelerdeki
collectively opening these
dönüşüm
all today,
tamamlandığında
hopefully. When the
şehrimiz
urban
toplamda
transformation is complete in
9.000
this
yeni
region,
konuta daha
we
sahip olacak.
will be adding an
Kayseri'de
additional 9,000
belediyelerimiz
dwelling houses
TOKİ
to the
vasıtasıyla
capacity of
20
the city.
yıldır devam
Through the
ettirdiğimiz
municipalities and also
çalışmalarımızda
the Housing and
bugüne
Development
kadar
Administration of
100
Turkey, we
bin
have
konutu
been undertaking many
hamdolsun
activities,
dönüştürdük.
and so far we have,
Böylece
thank God,
Kayseri
gentrified
gece
about
kondusu
100,000
bir şehir haline geldi.
buildings, and now we don't have any illegally built houses or
Özel sektörümüz zaten
squatters in Kayseri,
Kayseri'nin yüz
and the
akısı.
private sector is a source of
Kayseri'nin
pride for
bizatihi
Kayseri.
kendisi
And Kayseri
Türkiye
itself
sınırlarını aşarak
goes
dünya
beyond
çapında
the
bir
borders
marka,
of Turkey and
bir
is
değer
a
haline
world-known brand. It has
Ülkemizin
become a
yeni
renowned
yetme şereflerinin
brand.
sembolü olan
And
bu
it
şehrimizi
also symbolizes the
inşallah
2023
Eylül
targets of our country, and it will be, of course, holding the flag, the banner for our 2053 vision and 2023 vision. And Kayseri will be serving as a milestone in this process. The second Congress of our party is now being held in Kayseri, and I always believed, and I believe again, that Kayseri will be the driving engine. We held our first Congress this year in Şırnak province of our country, and the second Congress is now being held in Kayseri, and tomorrow we will be visiting another metropolitan city of our country, Malatya. And I would like to thank to and extend my gratitude to all brothers and sisters who assumed roles in the foundation of our party, and I would like to wish for the mercy of God on those who passed away. And I would like to thank to all those colleagues who took active role in our provincial congresses, and I would like to wish the best to those who will, for the first time, take a role. And I would like to thank to each and every one of you for embracing us this enthusiastically. My brothers and sisters, Turkey on one hand is fighting against all the changes and is at the very core of the change that goes on around its region and within the country, and on the other hand we are marching towards our future decisively. The political, economic and humanitarian crises also made the irregular system of the world stumble. The developments unfolded through the impacts of coronavirus made everything more visible for us to see. And the developed countries, let alone ruling the world, have fallen short to bring about benefits to their own citizens, and we all have witnessed that. But on the other hand, some regions that were underestimated and always deemed as underdeveloped are now emerging stronger, and their stars are rising. And we are in Turkey struggle for that. The fact that we end up in the middle of all the crises in the region is not because that we are okay with everything that is made against us, but because of the fact that we own up to our stance and our decisiveness. I would like to once again reiterate, we do not have our eyes or sight on the rights or the laws, the interests or resources of the others. On the contrary, we are only there to defend the rights of our brothers and sisters with whom we coexisted and lived together. There are some who come from miles away, thousands of miles away, and try to establish a terror corridor by our borders. And of course, we will not stand as mere bystanders in the face of those. In December in 2018, 2 years ago, our soldiers, 15 soldiers, were attacked and martyrized. And just now, we have found one of the aggressors, one of those terrorists, in the place that he was hiding, and we brought him back to country. So what else should we do? Should we not avenge for the blood of our people? In Syria and Iraq, there are many threats posed against us. To tackle and avert all those threats, we work, and other than that, we have no purpose, but only to watch for and stand the rights and interests of our brothers and sisters. And we see that in the north parts of Syria, another new terror corridor is now by some being established. So you can see clearly that there are efforts to establish a terror state there. I would like to clarify and clearly, frankly say, Turkey will never allow such a swamp of terrorism, and will never allow the establishment of a terror corridor by its border. We will never. We will do whatever it takes, and we will be drying out this swamp of terrorism. And until now, we have done everything we said, and this should be kept in mind. And this is not related with the alliance or our friendship or cooperation in other fields, because if those counterparts are really our allies, then they're expected to evaluate everything in their own terms and also respect the natural consequences therewith. Similarly, in the Eastern Mediterranean, Greece and the Greek Cypriot administration's spoiled behaviors should not take some hostage. They should stand with rights and law. If you take a look even a glimpse at the map of the Eastern Mediterranean, it will be enough for you to understand the righteousness of Turkey. So those counterparts, until they act in line with laws and rules and righteousness, we are determined to do what we have rights to do. And in the Black Sea, we have found 405 billion cubic meters of natural gas, which will amount to almost 80 billion liras of worth, and we have higher hopes for the region, and we hope even more good news to come from the Mediterranean as well. In Libya, instead of the legitimate government of the country, there are some who stand with the coup makers, the putschists, and their record of democracy has now been disrupted. And those who support the coup makers, those countries that support the coup makers, cannot, after this point, say a single word. They have they do not have any longer the right to utter words about democracy. And this person called Macron, what is his problem with Islam? What is his problem with the Muslim?
Macron'un zihinsel noktada bir
Macron
tedaviye ihtiyacı var.
needs a therapy
İnanç
mentally.
hürriyetinden, inanç özgürlüğünden
Freedom of belief, freedom of
ve
religion
kendi ülkesinde
are
yaşayan
things that he does not know about. There are millions of people coming from different religions and who have different beliefs. And a state head who acts as such. What can we say in the face of that? First, some checks to be done
Erdoğan'la uğraşıyorsun. Ya Erdoğan'la uğraşmak sana bir şey kazandırmaz.
for his psychology.
Zaten
And now
şu anda bir
you
yıl sonra
have some
seçim-
trouble with Erdogan, but
seçimde de
coming
akıbetini
against
göreceğiz.
Erdogan will do no good for you. And now they have the elections coming. We will see what the outcome will be like. And I don't think that he has much way to go. Why? Because he has failed to bring about benefits to France. He has not been able to bring about anything positive to France. And what will he do for his own self? But our principled stance will continue. And right now in Azerbaijan, there are disasters ongoing, and they are behind those disasters. They are the people behind those occupations. And within Minsk Group, you have a seat. And what have you done so far? Occupation. Have you liberated the Azerbaijani territories from occupation? No. You have only been sending weapons to the Armenians, and the weapons sent to Armenians will build the peace you believe. But you cannot achieve so because you do not stand honestly. You are not honest. But Turkey has stood with its brothers and sisters in dignity so far, and we will continue to stand in decency and dignity. And the clashes that took start following the attacks of Armenian against the Azerbaijani has now turned into the struggle of our Azerbaijani brothers and sisters to liberate their occupied territories.
Evleri bomba yemiş olan
And some people's homes were destructed, bombed, and Nigar, a daughter to us, was on the TV. Last night, her house was bombed, and she talked about the troubles she had to face. Of course, she was weeping tears, and we will, of course, wipe those tears away.
ve inanıyorum ki
Hopefully. And I believe firmly that our Azerbaijani brothers and sisters will emerge victorious in their struggle.
Azerbaycan toprakları
And
işgal
yesterday, the Azerbaijani territories were occupied, and our Azerbaijani brothers and sisters were massacred, and some turned a blind eye, and also these things fell to deaf ears, and they only stood by as mere watchers. And this is a clear example of hypocrisy. The occupied territories of Azerbaijan will be liberated, and we will be continuing with all the support we can lend to Azerbaijan in their struggle. Azerbaijan, a sisterly country for us, because we stand as one single nation and two different states, as you all know, as a principle. And we know that xenophobia is rising more and more in Europe, and we have been witnessing more concerning manifestations of that in Europe. In Germany, hundreds of police officers disrespectfully raided a mosque, and this is nothing related with concerns of security or something else or whatnot. This is a clear example of Islamophobia, and there are some similar examples of that experienced by the Muslim. But have we done the same against the sanctuaries, the worship places of the Christians? No, we have not, and we will not, because in our character, in our stance, we do not have such a thing. This is not in our nature. But when we talk to the leaders of those other parties, they start speaking some other words, but we are only speaking on the basis of evidence, footage. They're talking about secularism, laïcité, but it's all about something else for them. They do not speak the truth. In France, the castle of freedom and democracy, we have seen the reflection of slander against our prophet, and some illustrations of him disrespectfully made on the walls of the street. And this is a clear example of presumptuousness and disrespect. This is also Islamophobia, but Islamophobia in Europe is also at the same time phobia against the Turkish phobia, because for the Westerners, Turkish people are Muslims, and similarly the Muslim are Turkish in their eyes. They have exhibited some hypocrisy for our accession to the EU, and they wanted certain mentalities of bigotry and fascism to be accepted by some, putting it under disguise. And such attacks now has brought the fascism of Europe to a new stage. And such dangerous course took also place during the First and the Second Great Wars, and Europe made the biggest slaughterings, massacres of the world history, and these all show that they have not still come to their senses. And the fronts they have now opened against the Muslim will bring their own end. They're preparing their own end. The European countries in this newly structured global system, if they are willing to preserve their position in this newly structured global system, they must immediately rid themselves of this disease of Islamophobia in their body. Otherwise, this enmity will be leading the way for the internal collapse of Europe itself, within the borders of Europe and across the world. Turkey, like it is the case for all the other issues, will always stand with righteousness. We will always stand with the oppressed, the persecuted. There are more than 6 million citizens of our country living in Europe, and to ensure they live in peace and welfare, we are determined to exert any effort that we can. My brothers and sisters, Turkey at many fronts is struggling, and it is also working for the Ummah and the whole humanity, and we are on a struggle. We have taken on such a great struggle people, but we are sad to follow that there are some within our country who defend the others. And we are not sad just because we will have some harm to come our way because of their enmity. Of course, rocks cannot be worn off with such power of capacity, but we are sad to see some people exhibit such dirty behaviors, and we will see that the history will prove us right, because we always be standing principled, even though we will have to maybe pay prices because of our principled stance. We will be on one hand walking towards our goals of development, our goals of flourishing, and on the other hand, we will continue, of course, to stand against such heinous acts. And over the past 10 years, Turkey have undertaken many legendary projects, investments, and completed many great works of art. And the biggest witness of all of our actions is our nation itself. And in Kayseri only, only in Kayseri province, over the past 18 years, we have made an investment of 30 billion liras. But in spite of that, some do say that Kayseri does not take a sufficient share of the investments made across the country, and they should be ashamed. And because Kayseri is not only making stride itself, but also helps other surrounding cities flourish, thrive. And this 30 billion liras of budget allocated for Kayseri helped us build many classrooms in Kayseri. And we built 550 ICT laboratories at our schools. We have supplied our schools with materials, tens of thousands of materials, and we have also founded the third university of this city. We have constructed dorms with thousands of beds, and we are now planning to build 2 other dormitories for higher education. And right now we are in a stadium of world standards, and this stadium has a capacity of 33,000 people, and other 36 sports complexes were also built. Erciyes skiing center during winter time and weekends receives around 100,000 visitors, and it has become one of the most important touristic centers of our country. And for the construction of the skiing track, we have provided the title deed rights of a large area to the people of Kayseri. Melik Gazi National Garden tender process has been carried out with, and now we are choosing a plot to designate for Hacılar National Garden, and the national gardens which will be totally constructed on an area of 2.3 million square meters will be soon completed. and
İhtiyaç sahibi
put to
vatandaşlarımıza
service.
toplam
The citizens
2,6
in
katrilyon
need
lira
in our
tutarında
country also
sosyal yardım
have
yaptık.
been financially assisted
Sağlıkta
with more than 2 billion
1607
liras.
yatak
In
kapasiteli
health,
şehir hastanemizle
we
birlikte
have built a
16
city
hastane olmak
hospital
üzere
with a capacity
toplam
of
49 adet
1,600 beds,
sağlık
and
tesisini
totally
sizlerin
49
hizmetine
health
sunduk.
facilities have now
Halen
become operational.
4 hastaneden
And
oluşan
right now,
9
we
adet
are
sağlık tesisimizin
9
inşaatına devam
other
ediyor.
healthcare facilities
Toplu
under
konutta
construction, for
Kayseri'de
which are hospitals. When it
18.710
comes to gate
vatandaşımızı
communities and
ev
dwelling
sahibi yaptık.
houses, we
Bugün ilk
have
etaplarını hizmete
ensured that
açacağımız
millions
kentsel dönüşüm
of
projeleriyle
citizens now own
toplamda
their own
9.000
properties,
konutu
and
daha Kayseri'ye
9,000 new
kazandırıyoruz.
dwelling houses will be
Ulaştırmada
built within the framework of
83
urban
kilometreden
transformation project.
devraldığımız
When it comes to
bölünmüş yol uzunluğunun
transportation,
564 kilometre ilaveyle
we have
647 kilometreye çıkardık.
added some
Yapımı devam
500
eden yol
kilometers
projelerinin bir
of
bölümünü daha
highways,
önümüzdeki yıl açıyoruz.
and the
Proje
total length of the
çalışmaları
highway in
Diğer
Kayseri
Kayseri
has exceeded
yüksek hızlı tren
600,
hattını
some
inşallah
600
en
kilometers.
kısa sürede
And
yatırım
Kayseri
programına
speed
alıyoruz.
train project also will be put in the
Antalya,
framework of our
Konya,
investments.
Aksaray,
Antalya, Konya,
Nevşehir,
Aksaray,
Kayseri,
Nevşehir,
hızlı
Kayseri
tren hattı projesiyle
speed
ilgili
train
çalışmalarda
project is
Boğaz
still
Köprü
under
Lojistik
scrutiny,
Merkezi'nin
and we continue
birinci
to
etabı
work on that.
tamamlandı.
And the logistics
İkinci etabın
center's
yapımı
first
için
phase has
ihale
been
hazırlık
constructed.
çalışmaları devam
For the
ediyor.
second phase, there
Ana
are
farklar,
certain preparatory work
otogar,
for the tender
şehir
process.
hastanesi,
The
Doğu Yazgan
city
Üniversitesi,
hospitals,
yüksek hızlı
bus
tren,
stations,
tramvay hattı
terminals,
projesinin ihalesi
and
bitti.
high-speed
Yakında
train
yer teslimi
and
yapılacak.
tram projects now have been tendered, and soon enough we will be identifying the plots to designate for the construction. We're also proud of you all.
Kayseri'de 18 yıl önce
18 years ago in Kayseri, there were almost no fast
174 bin
internet
hızlı internet abonesi bulunuyor.
users, but now we have millions of internet subscribers. The fiber optics
9642
lines
kilometreye ulaştırdık.
now run as long as some 9,000 kilometers, and we have built 9 water dams and 4 lakes for Kayseri, and Yamula Dam has been closely followed by our administration for each and every phase of the construction. So we have brought the sea to the city of Kayseri, so to speak.
Kardeşlerim, Pınarbaşı,
My brothers and sisters, Pınarbaşı Dam and Sarız Fettahdere Dam are under construction, and with the irrigation facilities we have constructed, we have started irrigating an area of 500 acres, and we also supported our incentives. 2 technoparks, 13 RD and design centers have been built, and we have supplied 12 districts of Kayseri with natural gas. So my brothers and sisters, even if we try to explain all of our services in the summary of the summary, the list goes on, and time, of course, is not enough for us to explain all. We do not have enough time. We would not to explain all. As long as we own up to our fraternity, our togetherness, it will be enough. As long as we stand with and embrace our party, our country, our nation, it will be sufficient. We should not let dissension or hypocrisy come near us.
ne kadar samimi, ne kadar hasbi, ne kadar
Sincerely,
geniş ufuklu çalışırsak kendimize
we should work with open horizons, open-mindedly, and the more we work as such, the more helpful and beneficial will we be for our nation. I myself personally know how sincere and how frank the people of Kayseri are, and we will, for the next elections, will make the flag of AK Party rise higher and higher, and we will yet again embrace our cause. And the stronger AK Party is in all 81 provinces of our country, and the better ties we have with our people, the brighter will our future be. As I always say, the destiny of Turkey and AK Party, as well as the People's Alliance, is unified. And the stronger we stand, the stronger the country will be. And if we stumble, the country will stumble. May God bless you all for all the sacrifices you have made, for all the work you have undertaken. I would like to wish the best to my brothers and sisters who will assume responsibility in our congresses, and I would like to thank to all colleagues who took part in the preparation of this Congress. I would like to thank you all very much, my love and respect. Thank you, stay in health.
Genel Başkanı, Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'a konuşmaları için çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımız günün anısına İl Başkanımız Sayın Şaban Çopuroğlu, Hacı Safiye Kursoy teyzemizle beraber kendi elleriyle örmüş olduğu çorap ve birkaç örgüyü Kayseri adına sizlere hediye edeceklerdir. İl Başkanımızı ve Safiye Hanım'ı sahneye davet ediyoruz. Buyurunuz lütfen. Koca bir çığınarsın, yine yeniden, haydi başaracaksın. Sen bilirsin içindeki cevheri, sen asilsin, şahlandır bu milleti, sen yetersin.